Alright, how's it going, everybody? We are back in GT6, believe it or not. But we're here for an update video, which you could probably tell from the title. It is a little bit late, but Greg being Greg, he put it out right before April 1st, and I didn't figure it would do much good to do an update video when everything had weird names. So I figured I would wait until after that, and so here we are. So this is first update we've had in well over a year. This is 6/17/02, and there's a lot of like back-end stuff and magic stuff that I won't be testing, but we'll go over it. First thing is Adventurous wood data for cherry and bamboo. I don't even know if I can tell it because I have forestry which adds cherry, but you should, if you have Adventurous, you should be able to deal with that. Bamboo, there is all of the bamboo stuff that was added, so if you have Adventurous, this will be all available to you. Unboxer can now unbox Stormpath loot bags. As you know, I don't do magic stuff, so I can't show that, but there's not a whole lot to show. It's just like IC2 scrap boxes. If you take these and you throw them into a unboxer, it will give you the stuff out of them. So it should work. Oh, that's a boxinator. I don't have an unboxinator, so I can't show you with that anyways. It's something Greg likes to do, so, and it makes sense if you actually, you know, have Stormpath and you get those, you can just make a place to throw them. I don't care about IC2 scrap boxes or Stormpath loot bags. Stormpath loot bags being way more overpowered than IC2 scrap boxes with all the weird crap you can get out of them. But he did put, he's glad that Asnor arbitrarily decided to have a maximum of 12 items outputted by those. Otherwise, he would have had trouble fitting it into the unboxinator's output slots. So if you play with Stormpath, you can now set up an unboxer for your loot bags. Also with Stormpath, he fixed loot bags are now actually randomizing the enchantments on the books. They drop instead of repeating the exact same enchantment over and over until you relaunch the game. He fixed a bug related to saving and loading worlds in regards to GT6 specific data, and also fixed some bug with bucket, cauldron, etc., where things like mini portals and ender garbage bins did not work correctly because of certain events being thrown with weird paths triggering loaded a different save file detection, which for servers should flat out not be possible in the first place. I don't know anything about bucket servers and all of that crap, so all of that is, you know, just basically gibberish to me. Now, another thing, this is something that Junior actually brought up a long time ago, back when Junior and I were messing around on the server, and that is rivers, oceans. Let me actually read the thing while I'm running here and Try not to fall into the water. Rivers, lakes, oceans, and beaches no longer dry placed bales of grass. Now, it isn't going to do me any good to do it now because, you know, Minecraft rain. But if this is plains, so this would be fine. But if you were on like a beach, which should be what this is here. Yeah, see, this is river. Well, that actually was plains too. But somewhere here was river that I just ran across. Minecraft is weird. But let's go out back. I can actually grab some planks and put them over top. Is this... Nope, this is considered plains too. It's weird that it's not considered beach, even though it has like a beach area there, but again, Minecraft is weird with how it does that stuff. So let's just run out back, because I know we have a big beach area right back here. Now don't tell me this is plains. This is definitely a beach. Okay, it finally... See, I think it's just the map isn't updating quick enough. But yeah, this is definitely beach here. So if we do this... I don't have any sticks on me to be able to cover that. I've been playing with newer Minecraft scaffold and forgetting what the good stuff actually, how it works. Okay, so that'll keep this completely dry in here from the rain. We'll put those in there and we'll close that off, but they will still rot because we're on a beach. And we'll check back with them in a little bit. Air vents were collecting air even when submerged in liquids or gases. So let's come over here and grab the air vent off of here. We'll just take this and we'll stick it down here in the river. Well, that's not going to work. That's the wrong direction. Alright. We'll stick... Really? I broke the water block and it hasn't filled in yet. Okay, there we go. Now it's underwater. So now we get our magnifying glass and pipe is empty. So we don't have to worry about it being able to suck air anymore when it's underwater. Put this back up here. Shoot an arrow at it for reasons. Now, this should not have anything in it. Or should be full. I'm wondering if it's actually not. There we go. Now we got air in it. Alright, let's just, since that took a minute to update, let's stick this back under the water. We'll leave that there for a good minute. And we'll go check on another thing after I have a bit to eat. Alright. He fixed something with mass storages that made them get stuck. He couldn't replicate it, and I have no idea. I've never seen it, so I don't know what it was, but he fixed something to hopefully fix it. He also changed potion fluids to now use the Get Liquid color instead of hard coating the texture. So if something changes the texture of your potion, the fluid will now look as it should. And look here, Mr. Cow. Only he gets to come out. And as you can see, that's what we're here to test, is that cows, sheeps, pigs, and horses will now break tall grass, which is actually kind of nice, because if you don't want to sit and mow your grass, you can just ride your horse through it. Come on, Mr. Pig. There you go. And that other pig snuck out and is now going to go in the river and drown. We're not testing it with sheep because I don't have any sheep. But I figured we'd test it with the... Dude, I just put you back in here. Get back in here. We already showed that you can mow the grass. Get back over here. I know you've been in this pen for years now, and I've done nothing with you, but stay here a little longer. Alright, and I want to test if the donkey does it, because he specifically said horses. He said nothing about donkeys and or mules. Oh, I forgot. I gotta open the other gate. So let's see. Yep, donkeys work as well. So now you can turn your donkey and or horse into a lawnmower. You're not going to get the seeds out of it, but at least trample down the grass. Alright, I don't think it's been long enough. But, well, I know the one in the river has. Let's go check the air vent, and then we'll go back and check the hay. There you go. That is definitely not collecting air. Alright, so I'll put that back there. Now let's go over and check the hay bales and see if they are complete. Give me that. I don't see any green through there, so I'm pretty sure they've rotted already. Let's see. Nope, they're still green. They haven't even rotted yet. Alright, we'll come back and check on them in a bit. I'm wondering if maybe they just aren't going to dry at all. I'm assuming they're going to rot. But he didn't say that. He just said they won't dry. Platinum group metals, their sludge, and rare earth now have better Thumbcraft aspects. So more Thumbcraft stuff. Roasters of higher tiers no longer have overclocking penalties, which is awesome. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. I actually was going to use the secret version for a little while because why'd I put roasting? I think it's roaster. Just wait for any item. Oh, I did it again. I hate that number bar over here being long, because then I type in it. I like it back when it was just a little bitty box for a number. Alright, so roaster, roasting oven. There we go. So you can see now the roasting oven says can be overclocked without additional energy loss because it's heat base. And you'll see that the Invar one does 2-time processing, titanium does 4-time processing, and tungsten carbide does 8-time processing. So that was one of the biggest thing with sulfides, was just how slow or energy wasting they were to process. I've got a load of stuff down here that's never been done, and my roasting oven runs most of the time. And I just kind of forget about it even processing, because I only have a regular steel one because of how much it would cost to do any of the higher ones. So I will definitely be upgrading that to a tungsten carbide one next time I play, which I guess this is a good time to say I will be back. I have been taking a heck of a hiatus, but I will be back for more of GT6. I just needed a bit of a break, and was working on GT5R and GT4R with trends a lot, which I still am, but I will be coming back in here to finish up getting to the fusion reactor in this world at some point. And they are still green. I'm wondering if they just don't dry to anything. Let's see. Oh, the next thing is zirconium is now the same level as diamond. So zirconium pickaxe is quality 1280, speed 8, or quality 3, speed 8, durability 1280. And if we look at diamond, if I can find the pickaxe head, that's the construction version, 3, 8, 1280. So it's not a lesser pickaxe if you use zirconium. It's exactly the same as diamond. And with zirconium only coming mainly from zircon, which makes it even harder to get, I can understand it. Also, he changed the name of rock salt for the most part. You can see rock salt kind of doesn't exist anymore, other than the dust and the blocks of dust. And that is because he gave them the actual mineral name for them. So if we look in the sluice, crushed salt, where is there it is, sylvite. So crushed sylvite is what it has changed to. Same for the raw ore, which will be the same for the ore itself, is sylvite, which is what rock salt is called. He added a recipe for making obsidian to the extruder. I don't really understand why he did this. I guess it could be useful if you wanted to make it that way. It's kind of strange. Let me read what it actually says. Extruder recipe for redstone dust to obsidian block using the cobble generator item. Yes, this is a vanilla exploit I turned into a recipe. I don't know the exploit. Y'all know well enough. I don't do exploits even if I knew what they were. But there it is, stone generator module in the extruder. It's only 16, so you can do this in the low heat one, and it gives you an obsidian block. So I guess if you found redstone early on, no, because you'd have to also have tier 4 or higher circuits to be able to make this thing, and galvanized steel and the extruder shape. Never mind. I was going to say maybe this was a way you could get it to make a portal, but no. And that should show that just how much I've used that stupid module. I don't care. Anyways, and then the last thing, which this thing is still not done running. I was hoping by the time we got done it would be done running. Is Greg has added loot crates. So we are going to make up a stack of crates. And then we need to surround the stack of crates. They go in the bottom. We need springs, item casings, screws, small gears, and foil. So these go here. That goes there, there, there. I was planning on doing an entire stack of these just to see what kind of loot we end up getting out of here. But we're getting 45 because holy crap, they're slow. So there's the 45. And if you guys can hear all the tinkling of small feet in the background, Junior's home, so let's go show him that his contribution to the update. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just do not dry whatsoever now if they're on a beach, because these definitely should have dried by this point. So yeah, I can say that it's not that. Yeah, you're gonna don't stop it. I'm pretty sure they just don't dry at all. Not that they turn into the spoiled ones, the rotten ones. Alright, so now we need a crowbar so we can open these loot crates. And I will read you the thing about this in a second after we open them. If I could find a crowbar, where is my crowbar? It's supposed to be right here with my pipes. Hold on just a second. Let me make a crowbar. Okay, I found the crowbar. So, let's plop these out here, because they're just going to be like opening the normal crates that you would get in a GT dungeon. You just place them out here in the world and right click. And you get your crate back, so you don't have to remake the crate. And it has random stacks of random items that you would normally get when looting. So you don't get a full stack, you get a random amount, and it's a completely random thing. So let's go through what Greg has wrote here about it, and then we'll just pop all of these. Loot crates, which can be made from about 3 units of tediously crafted gold and look exactly like all the other wooden crates. Each loot crate will net you 1 random stack of vanilla loot table loot when unboxed or right click. So you can throw these in the unboxer just like you would the Thumbcraft loot bags we were talking about earlier. So you could kind of automate this process if you had a bunch of gold, but it would take a bunch of machines to do so and a lot of time. Or you would be making much, much faster roll benders because, holy crap, do these rings take forever to roll in a basic one. Let's see the rest of what he said. The primary purpose is to ensure you don't need to constantly explore to get certain things, while not making it too easy. Also, this does serve as a more complicated version of the IC2 scrap boxes. Where here you need gold instead of garbage to do this. I chose gold because it is the most common, useless metal in modded Minecraft, especially since you can melt down notch apples and such. Where the hell he's getting a bunch of notch apples, I have no idea. I made sure all its ingredients are automatable without the crucible. No. No, he didn't. I have to argue with that. This needs mithril or miticium. Yeah. You do need the cluster mill for the foil. So you could use a smelter. Okay, yeah, these can be done from tiny plates. We just had that update a while back. You can extrude almost everything. The foil you can extrude. That's what I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking. I keep forgetting you could just use a smelter to pour the fluid and then run it through machines. But you would have to smelt it into plates and then run it through the cluster mill to get the foil. You couldn't extrude everything. I would pour most everything. I would personally, because I like the crucible, if I was to do this. I'm not a loot gremlin like some people, so I wouldn't do this, but I would just set up a crucible that would pour all the different things and then a sag mill to do it. But you could use a smelter, pour the ingots, and then send the ingots through all the different things, because you could send it through the... wait a minute. Hold on. I don't normally look at this recipe. You have to have long rods for this. Oh, you can weld them. I forgot about that. So yeah, you could run the ingot through the lathe, get your rod, weld it into a long rod, then bend it. Or, if you're just smelting it, do a long rod mold from the smelter, which would make a lot more sense. Okay. Yes, it is possible for loot crates to drop a stack of GregTech crates. See it like buying a bunch of cheaper metal for gold or so. So, oh yeah, there you go. That is great. I just got scrap boxes. String. A steel sword. Fire charges. Oh, a book. Yay. A material dictionary about copper. I'm sure I've got a million of those. These sapphires is nice. Steel pants. Redstone. Another large book. We've got millions of those. And that's a stone pickaxe. An iron sword. Some arrows. Hey, we got partial crates of chromium. Now that is useful. That's 2 copper, a random book, a random wooden pickaxe, a hunting guide, and now just for Tamara, let's just make a big ass mess. She will appreciate this. Okay, so can we identify all the weird shit on the ground? Bones, steel sword, knowledge crap, lily pads, wood, silver coins, double axe heads. Are those steel or Damascus steel? Stop giving me those stupid things. Steel. Okay. Apples, more knowledge. Coal coke, a lot more books. Those are lead chunks. Bronze boots, a steel helmet. Ooh, some nice arrows. Redstone ore. I don't know why those are in there. Those are Damascus arrow. We got 19 Damascus steel arrows. That's nice. I have to say the nicest thing we got out of here is the partial crate of brass and the partial crates of chromium. I like the chromium way better. What are these arrowheads? Manganese. That's useful. We can melt that down for something useful. So, yeah, for those of you out there that like random loot, you'll probably like this part. It's completely not my thing. I prefer to go out and, hunt for my loot. I don't like my free shit just given to me. You don't have to fight for it. Sadly, the one thing that didn't make this update that I was really hoping would make this update was the boiler that matches up to the THC heat exchanger. Get the rest of the stuff picked up. I asked Greg about this a while back, and I was hoping that he would have that on this one, but unfortunately he didn't. So we'll have to wait and see when that gets taken care of, because the dense heat exchanger for tantalum hafnium carbide puts out 1024 heat units. And if we go look at boiler, the strong boiler is 4096 energy. So it wouldn't heat, you'd need 4 of them to run the smallest one of those, which is nice. I'm pretty sure you could set up a pretty decent reactor to run one of those. But if you go back to the regular boilers, the highest is 512. So unfortunately we don't have one that's 1,000. But anyways, that is the update for GregTech 6 1702, and he has been working on other stuff I've seen in the changelog, so hopefully it won't be quite as long as it was last time before we get the next one. And I will see you guys next time.